afternoon, everybody. This is Karen Richardson Wagner here at Always Nutrition and Fitness in Moorhead City. How's everybody doing today? I hope you're doing fine. I am wanting to talk to you today a little nutrition. Talk to you about some nutrition. The first thing that I want to address for the reason for the video is because it's January and everybody is dieting. Everybody. It seems like everybody that walks in the store, everybody that's posting, everybody's on a diet, everybody's posting their food. And I see that it's going to work, but it's only going to work for a minute. If you can change your diet for a lifetime by doing some of the small things that I'm going to tell you to do today and why, I think you will have better success. I want to address enzymes. I want to address carbs, proteins, and fats. Those are your macros, which you hear people say, I got to hit my numbers, I got to get my macros in. Really, macros is just all about your diet. So if you're cutting out components, you are messing with your metabolism. So today what we're going to talk about first is enzymes. And I wrote some of this stuff on the board. I taught a little bit of this Saturday, but I didn't go in depth into it as I'm going to right now. So the first thing are enzymes. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 enzymes that our body uses to break down food. And right now, I see a lot of people are cutting their carbohydrates out. So with that being said, your enzymes, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of all of these enzymes that break down carbohydrates. What do you think happens when you don't eat carbs? Those enzymes don't have a thing to do. They don't work. So now you're going to have a messed up gut, and you're going to have to take some enzymes to help when you have gut issues. So instead of getting into all of these, I'll be quick about it. Your amylase is found in your saliva and your pancreas juices, and what that does is it converts starch into glycogen. The starch and glycogen into your simple sugars. Then you have your cellulose, which converts cellulose into glucose. That's sugar. Your invertase, which is produced by yeast in your stomach that you need, that converts to sugar. That's like doing some beer or some wine. That is your fermentation. Anyway, you have lactase, which breaks down lactose, which is milk lactose, which does not spike your blood sugar like regular sugar does. Then you have your lipase, which breaks down fats. Then you have your maltase, that breaks down the maltase to simple sugars in your body. Then you have your protease, which breaks down your proteins and peptides. So I know that's a lot of, how do I want to say it, scientific stuff, but let's get real. So I'm going to break it down into just carbs, proteins, and fats. So the first thing everybody cuts out when they're dieting is this first 2 rows, your starches, which are your potatoes, your rice, your oats, your bran, breads, potatoes, sweet potatoes, your fruits, which are sugary, okay? And then everybody eats off of here, your vegetables, proteins, and fats to lose weight. Well, yes, you will lose weight, but what happens when you just do these components, you're not feeding the muscles like you want to. You will lose weight, but you will lose muscle and water. If you put all of these into your diet, you will lose body fat. So with that being said, your starches, you don't need to eat a lot of them, but you need some of them. You need that glucose, and it has to do with your enzymes. So potatoes are good. A lot of people won't eat them. Don't eat the big potatoes. They're full of starch unless you cut them up, let them soak, rinse them off. You have your rices. You want a long rice instead of a short rice. And then you have your oats, your brans, your sprouted grains, and your sweet potatoes. They're all very good for you. Your fruits, you want 2 to 3 of these today as long as they are low glycemic. And what that means is that the sugar doesn't spike in your body from a very, very ripe fruit. It's full of sugar. Okay, so, but you want to have 2 to 3 low glycemic. It just means the fruit is not very, very ripe, okay, a day. Then you have your veggies. You want greens, reds, yellows, oranges, very pretty, colorful vegetables. If you're eating your vegetables raw, that's hard to break down. You don't get the proteins and the carbohydrates that you actually need when you're doing this. You're just getting more fiber in the raw vegetables. Salads are awesome, but when you're cooking, stir frying, just do them al dente, which means they're not mushy. Don't make your vegetables mushy. It makes it a high glycemic. You want to keep it low glycemic. Then we have proteins, which is your chicken. Everybody eats chicken, turkey, fish, pork, beef. First thing I want to tell you, beef is hard to break down. It's a thicker meat. Think about it. It's full of fat. You can't have as much of it, but you can have some of it. Keep it lean. Try to keep it organic. Pork, same thing. It doesn't break down like a piece of fish. A little harder. Try to keep it organic. And everybody's eating chicken. Well, if you read about chicken nowadays, there's so much chicken being produced because everybody's eating it and they can't keep up with us Americans eating these chickens. So if you notice, they're bigger and fatter and bigger and fatter. They have to grow them bigger and fatter, and they're pumping them full of chemicals. Do your research, you'll see. These are just not good chemical-wise for you. Then you have your turkey. All right, that's a leaner meat. If you're going to have turkey, have it lean. You don't want to have it too lean where it doesn't taste good. Then you have your fish, which you do not want farm-raised. You want wild. You want it to be wild. That's where it's not full of GMOs. It's not produced chemically. It's out of the lake. Go catch your own fish. Then we have our fats. You have your nuts, your seeds, nut butters, oils, and avocados. You don't want to cut those out. You need fats for your joints. You need fats, to keep the inflammation down in your body. And also good fats will help you lose body fat. So you need a little bit of everything, and if you need help with that, come see me at the store. I will help you. Inbox me. I will help you. Then we have corn. Unless this is organic, it's genetically modified, and it doesn't digest anyway, so why even bother eating it? It's a shame because I'm a Jersey girl and I love my corn. Then you have your quinoa and beans are both a carb and a protein carb. So you don't want to get rid of those, but you have to be careful when you have meat and you have one of these because it has both in there. So you can actually substitute some of these for your meats. And this is huge. We don't get that many carbs, out of our carbs, 25 to 30 grams of fiber a day. Okay, you should have those. Men should have about 40 grams. That's for men, and this is more for women. And you don't want to do that all at once because you're going to get bloated, you're not used to it, so build yourself up to it. So what I'm getting at is you should not cut any of these out. All of this stuff is very good to make these work well in your body to help you lose weight. So if you're cutting out your carbohydrates, which is very, very huge, because you do lose weight, but you lose muscle and water. If you have your carbs in there and you cut back on some of this stuff, you're going to have your muscle and you'll lose just your body fat. So remember, have your starches, have your fruits, vegetables, proteins, and fats, but portion them out. And to be honest, everybody, you need 1,200 or more calories a day, depending on how much you want to lose. And you want, I'm writing it all together, how much you want to lose. So sometimes when you are a bigger person, you're going to need a little bit more than this to start out with because you're way over this anyway. So if you bring it down too low, you're going to put your body into shock. So if you need help with that, you can give me a call here at Always Nutrition and Fitness. I will help you find out how much you need, how many calories you need, how many carbs, proteins, and fats. And we're going to work with you guys on this page. So if anybody has questions or if anybody has the answer when somebody chimes in, make sure that you help each other out. And you guys all have a great day.